What is the difference between a data analyst and a business analyst? A data analyst has more problem-solving skills, while a business analyst has decision-making skills. A data analyst generally plays an operational role, and a business analyst plays a strategic role in an organization. A data analyst should know statistics, SQL, data mining, etc., while a business analyst should be familiar with BI, analytics, data warehouse, etc. Mention a few important agile metrics to consider by business analysts. Velocity, the sprint burn-down matrix, the priority of the work category allocation, the cumulative flow diagrams, defect removal awareness, business value delivered time, coverage, defect resolution time. What are the popular techniques for requirement prioritization? Here are the following techniques that can be used for requirement prioritization. Moscow technique, requirements ranking method, $100 method, Kano analysis, and more. 5 whys. Differentiate between risk and issue. Risk is something that you can forecast and can handle by formulating mitigation plans. Issue, the risk which happened is known as an issue. Once the problem has occurred, it is solved by contingency management or issue management. Generally, issues are not resolved, but you can get a lesson from there for other projects. Example, on some roads, a few caution boards are stating road under repair, take diversion. This is called risk. If we travel through the same route which is under construction, then this may cause some damage to the vehicle. This is called an issue. How would you make most sense out of the business requirements to the developers? The following steps will detail the procedural way of professionally dealing with this. Identify the scope of the project. Take out the key features expected by the client. Reason out the most critical aspects of the system that has to be built. Depict the business user-oriented UML diagram and derive it further to the specificity of what is needed from the technology side of development. Detail out the use cases that will make the input from the client clear to the developers. Refinement should always be done with peer discussions. Activity, workflow, and data flow diagrams are of immense importance in detailing the requirement. Identifying the best modeling technique and representation of the deciphered client input will finally go through to the development team across a series of meetings. What is the difference between a business requirements documents, BRD, a functional requirements document, FRD, and a technical requirements document, TRD? This is a tricky question. Be cautious here, as there is a movement away from the idea of building a one-off big BRD, FRD, or TRD, in favor of a just-in-time evolution of detail. This is the agile approach. In general terms, as there is not a one-size-fits-all standard, a BRD explains what the business requirements are. A FRD explains the business requirements in more detail and may describe how they can be achieved. A TRD is the technical designer's detailed interpretation of how, technically, the requirements will be met. What does INVEST stand for? What can you tell me about Moscow prioritization? Invest stands for independent, negotiable, valuable, estimable, sized appropriately, and testable. It is a way to check the effectiveness of user stories by building them to these criteria. Bill Wake is the author to note in association with this. Moscow is a time-dependent way of looking at requirements priorities in terms of must have, should have, could have, won't have. This time it is fully described as a part of the DSDM Agile project framework but is widely used by other Agile approaches. What are the skills that a business analyst must possess? We can broadly categorize the skills of a business analyst into 3 types: fundamental skills, technical skills, business analysis skills. For each of the above categories, a business analyst should possess some skills as mentioned below. Are you aware of JAD? Joint Application Development, JAD, consists of a structured workshop session between end user/client, project manager, business analyst, technical team, and subject matter experts, SME, to facilitate the design and development of the product. Applications developed through the JAD development approach have higher customer satisfaction and less number of errors as the end user is directly involved in the development process. What are the different testing techniques you use? The aim of testing is to verify and validate the quality of a developed functionality according to the project requirements. A BA does various types of testing, which are black box testing. This is functional testing where a BA validates that the output generated by the system is as per the requirements. Use case unit testing. A BA does unit testing on a developer's machine to make sure the requested functionality is being achieved. Integration testing. This type of testing is done when more than one piece of code are integrated to realize a functionality. A BA does integration testing to make sure then the system is performing as expected after different modules are integrated. Functional testing. A BA is expected to conduct functional testing to validate that the system is achieving the functionality specified in the use case. Functional Requirement Specification Document, FRS. Acceptance testing. A BA along with the client does the acceptance testing to validate that the system is performing as per the business requirements and the product's acceptance criteria. Regression testing. Regression testing is done after a modification has been made to the existing system. Its aim is to make sure that all the system functionalities are working as expected. Beta testing. A BA along with the testing team does the beta testing and it is done on a pre-production version of the product. This testing is done to make sure that the functional and non-functional requirements of the system are met.